Hey everybody, it's been quite some time. Summer is officially here, and now that I have my hands unshackled from school, I can dress like this. Well, I could have dressed like this beforehand, but I have decided to dress down because it's getting hot, and honestly, I just don't want to get sweaty anymore. But that's besides the point. Today I'm going to talk to you about King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, directed by Guy Ritchie, who's, known for Rock'n'Rolla and Snatch. Those are two of the films that really come to my mind when I think of Guy Ritchie. I think of really quick action shots that have really awesome, cool camera angles, and I also think of really cool and witty dialogue in a very British sense. So I was kind of surprised that he took this role for King Arthur, it's a very strange move for Guy Ritchie, and I didn't really expect that. So, well, let's talk a little bit about the plot, what some things I enjoyed and things I didn't enjoy, and then I'll tell you my final thoughts on this film. Alright, so at the very beginning, you get a little bit of a backstory of King Arthur and himself as a little kid. I mean, very young, and you see his father, Eric Bana, and his mother kind of fighting the forces of darkness, and you kind of see there's mages and then there's also men. And the mages pretty much are, one of them has turned evil and is trying to take over Camelot, the last defense of man in England. And what happens is they defeat him. Eric Bana defeats him with, Excalibur, the sword that he's been given. And what happens after that is he gets betrayed by his brother. They both send the boy, King Arthur, Charlie Hunnam, down the river. He gets picked up and they do this sweet montage, very Guy Ritchie style. He kind of grows up, he's getting trained by people, he meets a lot of friends along the way, but also he kind of just does what he does. And then the story picks up from there, and pretty much he pulls the sword from Excalibur near the beginning of the movie, and pretty much from there they're on like a witch hunt, the evil king's brother, on to kill Charlie Hunnam and just destroy this lineage that is going to usurp his throne. So that's pretty much where the plot begins, and there's this filled with magic and cool CGI effects that I actually really enjoyed. But now that we're going to talk a little bit about that, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I really enjoyed about this film. Some of the dialogue, especially near the beginning, the first act I really enjoyed. It was a lot of dialogue that is definitely Guy Ritchie style, and there was really cool action sequences that are just like super fast-paced, and then just camera shots that were just definitely a thing that Guy Ritchie's known for, and so that's something I really enjoyed about this film. Second of all, the CGI is actually pretty decent for this film. I actually thought it was going to be crap, and so that was actually a surprise. They actually mixed magic in with this kind of gritty story that I really enjoyed. Now, with some of those things that I enjoyed, besides the dialogue and some of the action sequences that really occurred in this film, there's going to be some things I really didn't enjoy that much, and those would be the choppy story. The first act is really cool. Second act is kind of traily, and the third act just kind of it wraps things up in a... It's very oddly paced, and I don't really enjoy the end of the film that much. It didn't really make me feel for any of the characters. And also, Charlie Hunnam really wasn't too much of he was a fine actor in this role as King Arthur, but he didn't really bring anything to the table, in my opinion, that really changed how this movie could have ended up being. Besides the choppy third act in Charlie Hunnam, there was also a couple of just the story in general was just kind of a little choppy. But other than that, it was actually pretty enjoyable, and I really enjoyed this film, but it just seems really odd that Guy Ritchie was attached to this film in some capacity. I don't know if he wanted to do this or not, but it's definitely very odd for me, stepping into the King Arthur mythology, kind of watching it in a Guy Ritchie format where I'm thinking of some kind of shoot-'em-up movie with witty and fast dialogue and quick action, which is what Guy Ritchie's known for. So it's definitely worth a watch. I would give it a 3 out of 5. It's definitely it's definitely a Guy Ritchie movie, and you can definitely tell that. With a choppy story a little bit, but really cool dialogue and witty action. There were some sequences that were really cool that I really enjoyed about this movie, and definitely a fun way to start the summer, at least in my opinion. Next movie I'm going to be doing is Alien Covenant soon, and I can't wait to see this movie. I've heard mixed things about it, so we'll see where that goes. Have you seen King Arthur? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.